We're talking to Eric Bishop, Design Manager at Thiess, about the handover process and what Eric calls the no surprises approach. So Eric, can you give us a quick overview of the Defence RAF relocation project and how this no surprises approach works?
The RAF College relocation project by and large required us to relocate the RAF's recruit training unit from RAF Base Edinburgh in Adelaide across to RAF Base Wagga. It also required us to relocate the Officer Training School from RAF Base Williams at Point Cook down to RAF Base East Sale. The project value is $133.4 million. Well, some of the common pitfalls in the building construction industry, culturally, we concentrate on getting the building complete and move on. And in so doing, we're so heavily focused on the building part of the facility being our objective. Quite often the process of handover tends to is obviously right at the very end of the construction period, and our focus is more on getting out of the place than it is to allow your client to move in and start his business.
Eric, why did you use the Webfm system for O&M manuals?
We used Webfm primarily because it's an online tool that once the subcontractors are employed, the day after they start work on the project, they can start inputting data into the maintenance manuals. That was one aspect. The second aspect was that it has a QA process that the regional managers and the central maintenance contractor, garrison support people have visibility up front with the data that's going into the manuals. So therefore, when we got to the point of handover, it wasn't an issue we had to discuss. They've already seen it. They have a QA role that is simple. There's a request for information process, a help process within the system that they can ask questions. The questions get answered, they close them out. They have full and comprehensive understanding of what they're getting in each building. So your traditional hard copy manuals don't provide that.
How did the Webfm process help the client?
The Webfm process helped the client primarily because they had early visibility of the data that was going into the manuals. And a comment that was made at one of the last project review boards by the regional defence managers is that they'll never do their handovers or projects the old way again. They like this process primarily because of that fact that they've got visibility up front, they've got certainty, they've got confidence that the data that's going in there is written in the way that their Defence Estate Management System, commonly known as DEMS, understand the data. And so a DEMS dump can be done for all the assets, the maintainable assets in the facilities can be dumped very early in the process. What
did Thiess's staff on site think of using the Webfm system?
Well, our staff eventually, once they got used to the product, found it a useful tool from the point of view that when you're managing your subcontractors meetings on a weekly basis, you can download a report as to who's been adding value to the manuals, who's been inputting data, and you can get into the subbies who have been lazy or have been complacent about inputting data as they do each week. If you wanted to do it at that regular basis, or you could have individual meetings over that subject alone. But by and large, the tool adds value to our process from the point of view that, one, you can input data early, you can see all the data, you can create a report for the data to be for the subcontractors meetings, and manage the maintenance manual process right through till completion.
Eric, what are some of the other benefits that you think have come about from using the Webfm system?
Well, we at Thiess like to think we add value to everything we do. We like to think that we're innovative in our process. The traditional hard copy manuals, on a project of this size, we would have delivered 500 kilos of manuals with thousands of pieces of paper, but by and large we were able to produce a product such as this and hand it over to our client, which added value from the perspective that, one, they had early visibility of the data that was going into the manuals. Two, they were able to close out the process on the day of handover with their regional stakeholders and the various user group stakeholders. And three, we were able to achieve our contract deliverable by achieving handover with no surprises.